What is resistivity? We consider resistivity of semiconductor materials. We now consider the conduction in a homogeneous semiconductor material. We show a figure of an n-type semiconductor and its band diagram at thermal equilibrium. This is shown in figure number 4b, and it shows the corresponding band diagram when a biasing voltage is applied to the right hand terminal. We assume that the contacts at the left hand and the right hand terminals are ohmic, that is, there is negligible voltage drop at each of the contacts. When an electric field E is applied to a semiconductor, each electron will experience a force of minus QE from the field. The force is equal to the negative gradient of the potential, that is, minus QE is equal to minus gradient of the electron potential, which is equal to minus dEc by dx. The bottom of the conduction band EC corresponds to the potential energy of an electron. Since we are interested in the gradient of the potential energy, we can use any part of the band diagram that is parallel to EC, that is EF, EI or EV, as we have shown in figure 4.4b. It is convenient to use the intrinsic Fermi level EI because we shall use EI when we consider p-n junctions. Therefore, we have the electric field E is equal to 1 by Q dEc by dx, which is equal to 1 by Q dEi by dx. We can define a related quantity psi as the electrostatic potential whose negative gradient equals to the electric field. So, the electric field can be written as minus d psi by dx. Now, if we compare these two equations, that is equation 8 and 9 as we have shown in the text, we will get psi is equal to minus EI by Q, which provides a relationship between the electrostatic potential and the potential energy of an electron. For a homogeneous semiconductor, as we have shown in figure 4b, the potential energy and EI decrease linearly with distance. Thus, the electric field is a constant in the negative x direction. Its magnitude equals the applied voltage divided by the sample length. The electrons in the conduction band move to the right side as shown in figure 4b, as we have shown in the diagram. The kinetic energy corresponds to the distance from the band edge, that is EC for electrons. When an electron undergoes a collision, it loses some or all of its kinetic energy to the lattice and drops towards the thermal equilibrium position. After the electron has lost some or all its kinetic energy, it will again begin to move towards the right, and the same process will be repeated many times. Conduction by holes can be visualized in a similar manner, but in the opposite direction. The transport of carriers under the influence of an applied electric field produces a current called the drift current. Consider a semiconductor as we have shown in figure 5, which has a cross-sectional area A, a length L, and a carrier concentration of n electrons per centimeter cube. Now, suppose we apply an electric field E to the sample. The electron current density Jn flowing in the sample can be found by summing the product of the charge minus q on each electron times the electron's velocity over all electrons per unit volume n. So, Jn can be written as In by A, that is equal to summation over all I equal to 1 to n minus q Vi, that is equal to minus q n Vn, which is equal to q n mu n E, where In is the electron current. So, the relationship between Vn and E we have obtained. A similar argument applies to holes. By taking charge of hole to be positive, Jp is equal to QVP, which is equal to QP mu P epsilon. The total current flowing in the semiconductor sample due to the applied field E can be written as the sum of the electron and the hole current components. So, J can be written as equal to Jn plus Jp, which is equal to Qn mu n plus QP mu P into the whole multiplied by the electric field E. The quantity in parenthesis is known as the conductivity. So we can write conductivity as equal to Q n mu n plus Q p mu p. So that is equal to conductivity. The electron and hole conductivity are simply additive as we have shown over here. The corresponding resistivity of the semiconductor, which is the reciprocal of sigma, that is the conductivity, is given by sigma is equal to 1 by rho, or rho is equal to 1 by sigma, which is equal to 1 divided by Q n mu n plus Q p mu p. So that is the value of the resistivity rho. Generally, in extrinsic semiconductors, only one of the components is significant because the other is many order of magnitude difference between the two carrier densities. So either it will be hole dominant or it will be electron dominant. So one of the term gets eliminated out because either n will be very much greater than p or p will be very much greater than n. So we can see that this is either hole dominant or electron dominant. So we can see the electron reduces finally to the resistivity is equal to 1 by Q n mu n if this is mainly electron dependent. So this is, we have used a semiconductor over here and we have shown with the cross sectional area of A. For an n-type semiconductor where n is very much greater than p, so we can see that the resistivity is equal to 1 upon Qp mu p. For p-type semiconductor, since p is very much greater than n, the most common method for measuring resistivity is a 4-point probe method, and this 4-point probe method, it has actually, there are 4 probes out of which a small current I is given in the 2 outer probes and voltage is measured in the inner probes. So the probes are equally spaced. A small current I from a constant current source is passed through the 2 outer probes and the voltage V is measured between the 2 inner probes. For a thin semiconductor sample whose thickness is W, that is much smaller than the sample diameter d, the resistivity rho is given by V upon I into W into CF ohm meter, where CF is a well documented correction factor. The correction factor depends upon the ratio of D upon S, where S is the probe spacing. When D by S is greater than 20, the correction factor approaches 4.54. The measured room temperature resistivity as a function of impurity concentration for silicon and gallium arsenide at this temperature. For low impurity concentration, all donors, that is phosphorus, arsenic and silicon, or acceptors such as boron and silicon, impurities have shallow energy levels, they will get ionized. Under these conditions, the carrier concentration is equal to the impurity concentration. From these curves, we can obtain the impurity concentration of a semiconductor if the resistivity is known, or vice versa. Thank you.